What is that?
The box.
What is that tape on the box?
It's like
Why does it look so
decorated
weird?
duct tape with like wood and leaves.
It's like a lobster claw.
It's a leaf.
Why'd you put
I
decorative
didn't
duct
put it
tape
there.
on the bottom box?
I didn't put it there.
Who put it there?
I'm not telling you. You'll make fun of me on the show.
No, seriously.
No, I'm not telling you. Here, we're on YouTube. Look.
I'm not going to start recording until you tell me what's up with this box.
I can't tell you.
Yes,
you mock me so bad. It's not even fair.
You know I'm not going to let the dude just tell me. Just what is it? Come on. I open up when I do something silly.
Craig, this is not just something silly. It's from Craig from the Res.
Wait, he sent you a package?
Yeah, for last year's Christmas thing.
Oh, wait, what?
The Christmas exchange.
But you already got a Christmas exchange from somebody.
No, last year. Well, it wasn't.
It wasn't Space Jam.
It wasn't the exchange. Actually, he sent it during that time.
What is it?
I told you about it. It had like taffies in there and action figures, all that kind of stuff.
Wait, so why are you?
It's been sitting here since last Christmas.
You never opened it?
No, I did. There's stuff in there still.
Why do you have the box?
Because there's stuff in there.
What?
Why
did Janelle allow you to?
Let's see.
Does she just treat this as like she just stays out of here?
Well, some of it I didn't know what to do with.
Why'd you get a bunch of cool stuff?
I don't know. Because he wants me to come to there.
What is that?
Raspberry jam.
Dude, that's probably delicious.
I know. You eat it.
Why is it sitting in this room out here since last year?
Here, look, here's another taffy. Did you ever try the taffy?
I don't like taffy.
Oh, it's poison. I mean, no, huckleberry.
Don't care.
All right. More for me.
You got a Homer Simpson and a Klingon doll.
I know, Brad.
It's just sitting here in a box.
I enjoy it there. I know it's there.
No, you don't.
I'm having a taffy right now.
You're so weird. Well, my studio is going to be the anti-studio. You put that mask away.
For tonight. It's Halloween. I think I should wear it.
We're not going to be able to hear you.
I'll just try it for a little bit.
No. They can't see you. Oh my gosh, you look nuts. Take that off, right? You're freaking me out.
No.
You're freaking me out. What if your kids came out in here right now?
No, come on. Happy Halloween, everyone.
You sound like you're... It doesn't have a mouth. You're going to choke to death with that mask on eating a taffy.
Well, I gotta say that I was Bob Dole for Halloween, or else it's freaking tradition.
Okay, we can do it for the intro, and then you're taking that freaking thing off.
Okay.
God, you're freaking me out.
Better start recording.
Ugh. All right. I'm starting recording. You're gonna choke to death. Stop it. Gosh, you sound like a freaking blob. Are you ready to record? Huh? You're like chewing on that taffy.
That's my bit for the opener. It's a Halloween special.
Oh my gosh. Hello and welcome to another episode of Radio BrendoMan. I'm Brendan Creasy.
And I'm Bob Dole.
It's our Halloween special, and Phil's got a really creepy mask on, and he's going to take off pretty soon. It's one, I'm worried about your you don't have a mouth hole, and you're trying to eat a taffy, and you're going to choke to death. Get that thing off.
All right. It's my famous Bob Dole mask.
Oh my gosh, that thing is the devil. So that's the only time you've worn it so far this Halloween season?
Yeah, that's it. I had no other cause to wear it, so I had to wear it for our show.
Yeah, because otherwise you're going to give your children nightmares.
I've shown it to them before, and they're not fans.
Probably gave them nightmares.
But it's very possible.
You're gonna have nightmares of Bob Dole.
It's one of the most terrifying.
And one day, they're gonna be watching TV in their teens, and that Bob Dole Viagra commercial going on, and they're gonna like curl up in a ball, and they're not even gonna know why.
Why is that man so scary? Daddy, I'm scared. And then I'll come in with a mask on and complete the training.
I don't know, man. I see some couch time in your kids' future.
What?
Dad wore a mask, Bob Dole.
And he pet a giant alligator while wearing it? What's wrong with that?
He had more kids' books than we did.
Definitely.
And he took over our playroom.
It's for them too. They enjoy the area.
This is like the Phil playland in here.
Yes, so
that's what I was saying. Like when I have my studio, it's gonna be like the opposite of this.
It's not gonna just have my stuff everywhere.
And a card table, like where you had to like make sure that we didn't mess up your puzzle.
Yes, that's the puzzle spot.
No, this is the podcast spot.
/ puzzle spot.
You got other surfaces you can put a puzzle on.
No, it's what. How am I supposed to work on it while recording a podcast then?
Oh, I give up.
I won?
No.
You just gave up? I win.
I give up on a lot of things, but you still don't win. So it's Halloween.
It is Halloween. We had a good Halloween.
Yeah, but this isn't going to go up on Halloween because we're still an episode behind because we had to fix the episode we recorded last week.
But
so that's going to go
fixed,
up.
So yeah.
So this will be a late Halloween special.
Right. Halloween flashback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember Halloween 2014?
Yeah. Remember that a few days ago?
Remember when you wore that Bob Dole mask?
Yeah, that was great. It was a great night.
Yeah.
Remember that?
We went trick-or-treating today.
It was fun.
It was your kid's first trick-or-treating experience?
First, like, proper, like, going out
like
somewhere.
Going around, asking people, and they were perfectly mannered.
Yep.
We had a couple freakouts.
Well, Luke had a heart. He fell asleep right beforehand, and then we, like, woke him up from nap. You can't interrupt the nap.
It was like this weird Luke robot.
Yeah, he like stumbled around and like falling and stuff.
Yeah, Phil, there was like a drunk toddler routine.
And so I picked him up and carried him, and I told you this is what would happen. I carried him, I let him fall back asleep on my shoulder, and then I let him wake up of his own volition. And then he was like, "Oh, can I trick or treat now?"
And then Audrey freaked out, and all we had to do was give her candy.
Yeah, she was like really wanted to have a piece of candy mid trick or treating,
which you never do.
We were trying to explain that that's against protocol, but
because then they got all it messed up the whole routine,
the whole rhythm,
because they're trying to eat candy and holding candy while they're holding their treat
and Luke
bags.
had nerds, so he was like eating them one by one.
Oh yeah, you had to teach your kid how to eat nerds properly.
Him how to do a proper nerd. Yeah,
I'm like, we'll get there, Luke. Pretty soon you'll be doing those one and done. Yeah. Those are single serving boxes.
That's right. Yes, they are. But it was a pretty good like first year like training.
Yeah, it's a good stepping stone to when they're gonna be older and we're living in the like Wild West apocalypse. And
and they know how to go around and get stuff. Oh, of course.
The light just went off.
Yeah, it's terrifying, isn't it?
It is terrifying. I don't like it.
It just means there's no motion out there.
But then what was the motion?
There was motion before. In the first place? Probably creatures.
You had too many creatures. We found a lot of poo out there.
Yeah, I think maybe even some raccoons. Some of that was pretty big. We were out in the yard today.
If it is a person that's pooping in your lawn?
If there's a person that's pooping in my lawn, that is the most terrifying thing I can possibly imagine.
What if you went out there one night and there was a dude squatting?
Oh my gosh. Are you trying to get me that? This is in retaliation for the Bob Dole
But he's just like, hey.
Okay. No, that's worse. That's the creepiest thing I can imagine.
This is cool, right?
Oh,
I'm just pooping here.
I do this every night.
No, he's not even like that. He's just like, hey. He's holding a newspaper.
I'm never going to my backyard ever again now. Not during the night anyway. Daytime is okay.
Really?
Daytime is okay. Have you gone out in the yard yet at night?
I'm not going out there. Are you kidding me?
One of these days, if you want to prove you're a man, you have to walk out to my compost pile at night by yourself.
No way am I walking all the way out. First of all, it's dangerous for tall people.
Yes, it is.
And second of all, there's a lot of, like I said, poo out there.
And creatures.
So I'm not even talking about the scary aspect. And then it's like, it's totally dark. I will fall and...
It's kind of creepy.
Oh, I'm definitely creepy, but I'm not doing it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying, if you ever need to, like, prove something to someone.
I don't need to prove anything.
If you ever need to, if the need ever arises, you know where to go.
All right. But yeah. I don't know. I say your kids did all right today.
In spite of the little hiccups, they were polite. They got a lot of good candy. I was planning because we did like an afternoon into the evening thing at like a downtown area, and I thought we were going to do that and then go move on to a neighborhood, but they were done.
That was reaching a little bit.
We wound up having to go and supplement.
Getting a little too close to the sun there. Oh, yeah. Well, then you bought all this candy to give out to these supposed trick-or-treaters.
And then no one ever came to our door.
So now we got a bowl of candy. So tomorrow, that's probably what we're going to be. And then I'm probably – and because then I end up eating too much chocolate. And by Monday after Halloween, it's like – bleh.
We're going to be on guests on Keith and John's show, and we're both going to be like verpy.
Yeah.
That's vomit burping, in case you didn't know. That's a common term, right?
Yep.
Burping.
Or furping.
Furping.
Fart burping.
What about varting? Vomit farting?
I feel like that would quickly turn into vomit sharding. Because if you're vomiting, you're letting everything go.
Yeah.
And so you can't. I don't see how you could clench a fart while you're vomiting. I don't know if your body would let you do that. Because when you're like, when it's bad and it's coming out both ends, like it's not like you're able to hold it in.
I'm very familiar with the both ends approach, yes.
Or the yeah.
Well, there you go.
See, it's nice in the hotel setup if I ever was in that situation because the tub is so close. I can just go directly
lean right over to the tub. Yeah.
Don't even have to deal with the trash can intermediary.
And then they have someone
because eventually you're gonna have a puke-smelling trash can. You don't want that.
Ugh. Ugh. Why are we talking about this?
I don't know.
Ugh. But the other good thing about trick-or-treating out in the wilds, we saw some really cute costumes, like really good kid ones.
The popcorn baby.
Popcorn baby was good.
Because it was like this lady, you're like, oh, she's carrying a box. And then all of a sudden a baby popped out with a popcorn hat.
Yeah.
It looked perfect. Like one of those classic like trays with like the popcorn
and then the head popped up.
And the head popped.
And then my other favorite, of course,
Stay Puft Marshmallow Baby.
Stay Puft Marshmallow Baby.
It's pretty great.
That was awesome. There was some good there was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the kid was the new generation Turtles, from the Michael Bay movie, and then the mom was classic Turtles.
Yep. Saw a good Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Saw 8 million Elsas.
Oh, and then there was the family of ballerina turtles.
Yeah.
It was they were all girl Ninja Turtles with ballerina things, and their shells were spray painted turkey pans. It was perfect.
It's a good budget Turtles.
Good, yeah. Costume. It's a good one. So, but of course, I think our kids are the cutest. Audrey was Mariposa Barbie, which is a fairy.
Oh, I thought it was a My Little Pony thing.
No, it's Barbie. She wanted to go against the grain. All her friends were going to be Elsa or Anna from Frozen.
Way too many.
And Audrey was like, no, I want to do something different. And because we offered to get her one of those, and she said she wanted to be something different, so she chose that. I was very proud of her for that. Nice. And then Luke was Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
He wanted to be Spider-Man again, but Mommy made him diversify a little bit. So that's cool. And also, Uncle Brendo was helping get the costume on today, helping Luke get into his Luke Skywalker costume. And he made a comment oh, I'm helping you get on this ancient costume. Because you thought we had cheaped out and bought an old used one or something.
I just thought it had been around the block.
Yeah, we've used it twice. We just bought it a few weeks ago.
I guess aren't built to
They're
last.
Single use only. By the time we got it on today, it was barely hanging.
Remember the ones from when we were kids where it was that vinyl sheet and then the back?
A Big Bird one and a Chewbacca one, and they just start to split down the middle. Oh, and those sweaty masks with a little string
or
on your hair. Ugh.
That was hey, I'm a lazy parent. We're going to the drugstore and buying this.
Except
off the
that
rack.
I begged for those. I wanted that so bad.
I had a G.I. Joe one and I loved it, but then when I look back on it, I'm like, that's a pretty half-assed costume.
My favorite one as a kid was being a pirate.
Oh, yeah.
I did that a couple times.
That was the go-to, and you could do various things
because I had a hook hand,
hook, no hook.
Eye patch.
Do you go for the sword?
Yep.
Maybe you get real crazy. You get one of those musket pistols,
or the rubber parrot for your shoulder.
For the parrot. Are you going for like you do the torn pants or the
striped
are you doing the
shirts.
first mate shirt? Are you doing the vest?
Right.
Are you going for the full captain coat?
Or do you have the big captain hat or the
do you do the bandana?
Yeah.
I had all kinds of variations.
Yeah, pirates are the best.
You go for like the scars or like the can do a lot of things with makeup.
And now they're all like just Johnny Depp pirates.
Yeah.
So which is, I don't know, for better or for worse. I
But
don't know.
what's weird though is that movie also provided so many different templates for pirates, but of course
That's the one everyone stuck with.
Like,
yeah.
You don't see too many pintels out there.
I know. Although that would be really cool.
Yeah. With like a glass eye or something.
Yeah, the fake eye.
Or too many. I mean, you don't even see that many Barbosas.
No. Or Davy Jones. That'd be a cool one. Although that'd be a sweaty one.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's the thing. I could never do a mask.
Yeah.
I was because
even the Bob Dole mask I gotta take off.
Because I had a Freddy Krueger mask one year, and that was the only year I ever did like a full mask. Because I would just I was drenched in sweat.
And you're like drool.
There's a picture of me just with my mullet just all slicked back because I had just taken off the Freddy. You're picturing that picture in your head.
Picturing it. I can see little Brendo, just sweaty mullet head.
Yeah, I've shown you that picture.
I'm pretty sure I've seen it. Oh my gosh, yeah.
With my freaking pillowcase stuffed with candy.
My other favorite one that I did multiple times, they had a Wolfman suit. It was full body.
Oh, yeah,
they had the shoes. It's probably still in my parents' closet or something, and it was great.
I remember one year when I made my mom get me a full-on Keystone Cop outfit because I wanted to do that, and then again it was too hot.
Well, see, that was the good part about the Wolfman for me is in Big Bear it's cold.
Oh yeah.
So if you're doing all these skimpy things, but you got the Wolfman suit, you're good to go.
San Diego, I was wearing long sleeves and and that big. It was a heavy coat and the hat and everything, and I was just I don't know, because that's why I liked the light, breathable costumes. This is where that's my big hurdle in any kind of cosplay, especially at Comic-Con.
Oh gosh.
Especially in July, the end of July.
Yeah, the sweat factor.
That's where
I'm out right there.
It's when Gates said the idea of Chewbacca, I'm absolutely not.
No,
I would die of heat stroke.
You would pass out. You would. It was good weather today, though, and I gotta say, the downtown Redlands thing we went to was really cool.
Yeah, all the stores were
all decked out. They even had a couple little animatronics things and stuff spread around.
And they were giving out tons of candy.
Yeah, full bars in a couple places.
Yep, full bars. And then there was the place and no treats, frowny face.
Yeah, all the stores are open.
Please trash our store.
Big frowny face, no treats. Yeah, they got egged later on tonight. All they would have had to do was not have anything up there. Just walk on by. Shame. But it was good. Good Halloween. Terrible traffic.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think it was a success. I also helped out in Audrey's class today for their Halloween party. And just a little quick story. They do this sharing thing where they have to write a quick story and then they draw a picture. And this week's assignment was a spooky story. So Audrey did hers and it was great. And she shared it, and then another kid got up, and he couldn't read the stuff, and the teacher was trying to help him, to read it, and they got to the end of the story, and he's like, "I didn't write that, my mom did it."
we just freak out your mom.
And the teacher was like, "Well, if you want to get away with it, you shouldn't say that out loud,"
And he's like, "I never said I wanted to get away with it.
My mom did it." So
Steve Espinoza asked, "Did you guys see Chris Hardwick's Luke Skywalker Texas Ranger costume?"
No,
I didn't, but that sounds great.
That's really awesome.
That's a great idea.
That is good. Good job.
Start doing those mashup costumes.
Yeah, Luke Skywalker, Texas Ranger.
It's pretty good.
I like it. So yeah, good Halloween, lots of candy.
Oh, we just did a double It's bad for podcasting. We better end. That's it.
That's it. We're done. We're not going to make it to 150.
143 great episodes. It's over.
I don't know though. I think we can recover from it if we have a triple
Oh, he had himself as the 13th Doctor the day before. Like it. I'm the 13th Doctor.
That's good.
Me,
just me. How do you know? Yeah.
That's like what people ask me. I'm BrendoMan. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's what I said. That's your BrendoMan.
We always talk about how your dad wanted to make like a Brendo costume for your sister.
Yeah, because my sisters would always go with us to Disneyland, and they would meet Brendo, and that's like the time they saw him the most was at Disneyland, and then when he wasn't there, they're like, "Where's Brendan?" Like he was just a part of Disneyland. And my dad said BrendoMan would make a great Disneyland costume. People
Walk
could be
around
in there, oh, blah blah blah, BrendoMan. Oh, that would be good. So, yeah. It's Halloween. You guys have a good Halloween? Tell us about it. Remember back when that happened?
I think most people are still having their Halloween.
Probably. But when they're listening to it now, they can think back to when it was. 11 p.m.
Pacific time.
Yeah.
Most of our listeners are adults.
That's right. They're still doing it.
I think they're still doing
the
whatever
Halloween thing.
You do. Just thinking about other stuff.
We have some...
get some reader mail.
Reader mail.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about, like, I'm not looking... I don't want this weekend to end because I have to go back to my, like, homeless life and...
Yeah, we could address that now. You want to talk about that now?
No, I'll talk about it.
Let's get to your thing. Okay, let's get some reader mail, get you in the mood to be able to handle talking about transient Brendo.
All right.
Stephen
Day says, "Hey guys." That's all.
That's it. Hey, thanks for writing. That was good. Hey,
what's up?
No,
he says, if all goes according to plan, I'll have completed a marathon of every Friday the 13th, every Nightmare on Elm Street, and every Halloween movie by November 1st. That's 30 movies in 5 days.
Dang.
And then he lists every movie that he's going to watch. And he even includes the remakes.
All the Friday the 13th.
And the Halloween remakes.
All the Nightmare Before Christmas. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
All of it.
And he's doing Freddy vs. Jason. Oh, so he's doing everything.
Wow.
Including the remakes.
Wow.
And the Halloween 2 remake. Like, this is everything. That's crazy. So he asks... what are each of your most epic movie marathons ever? Actually, we did one together.
We did a great one together.
On, what was it, like your 30th birthday?
No, it was younger than that. It was something like 26 or something, maybe 27.
This was pre-kid, This was back at the...
This is at Vicky. Like, we only lived there for a year. So this would have been like 2006, I guess. Yeah. So what was that, 8 years ago?
Or 2007.
So it would have been like 27, something like that.
And we watched the extended editions back to back to back.
Lord of the Rings.
It was like an 18-hour...
No, I think it was like 12 hours.
12 hours.
12 hours. But still, that's a pretty good run.
Yeah, it was 12 hours.
Like, no stops. Like,
we
went boom, boom, boom.
Did boom, boom.
And Janelle made ring stuff.
Like ring pops.
Shrimp rings,
onion rings.
Yeah, like all kinds of ring stuff.
There was like different
else?
ring. Oh, pizza bagels.
Yeah, Funyuns.
Yeah.
Anything ring. So we had like a whole group of people over, but the only people that made it all the way.
And you and your brother David.
Yep.
Not even Matthew.
No, that was it. And everyone else, some of them made it a long time, but nobody.
Josh almost made it.
Yeah, and I think Steve, Neil, and Jeff were like contenders at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were the only ones that made it. But it felt like a journey. When we were done, we had gone on that journey together.
Yeah.
That was pretty epic.
But I've done some pretty crazy stuff.
You've done some like theater stuff.
I did Button-Up-A-Thon 5.
Yeah.
Which ended up, it's usually a 24-hour, and that year, because he did the Passion at the end, because he had to wait, because Mel Gibson came to the thing.
Right.
And that was also, like, that was Return of the King, and Peter Jackson, Philippa Boy, and Fran Walsh in person. And then he did this special thing for Peter Jackson where he showed, so Peter Jackson's favorite movie was The General, so he showed The General with the Glenn Forsythe arc. Have you ever seen Waking Life?
No.
It's the guy that did the soundtrack to Waking Life. It's one of Linklater's like go-to guys.
Okay.
And he brought him in because he's an Austin local, and they did a live orchestra to Buster Keaton's The General.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I got to sit right by where Peter Jackson was like watch. It was pretty awesome. That was crazy. And so that was 27 hours.
27 hours
straight.
That's how many movies? Like
it was a lot. It was like 13.
13.
Maybe 12. I don't know. You can look online if you just look at BNet5. It's quite the lineup. And then me, Josh, Benson, and Josh's brother Caleb did the Phase 1 marathon, including Avengers.
That's right.
So that was, I think it started at 10 a.m., and we watched We watched Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Captain America,
Incredible Hulk,
and Thor,
and then
Avengers at midnight.
So that's 6 movies in the theater in a row.
And that was like, that was like 12, 13, 14 hours.
And it's different in the theater too, because like you can't like flop out on the couch like we were doing ours.
Yeah. And then on the View Askew message board one year, a bunch of us, we had a challenge, and I did 365 movies in 365 days.
Dang.
And I have a list somewhere of every single movie that I watched.
Like anything, like who picked the movies?
No, it could be anything.
You just had to watch a movie every day.
Yeah, but there would be some times where I wouldn't watch it every day, and then I'd have to catch up.
Right.
And I think this was during unemployed, Brendo, so there would be times where I'd watch like 12 movies in a day.
Yeah.
And
there were times when...
Oh, this was at the height of... Okay, remember when Blockbuster Online was actually good?
Yep, I was going to say.
Because like that was the period where Blockbuster Online was actually better than Netflix, because you could take the mail-ins into the store, turn them in for an actual rental movie, and they would immediately send your next online movie. So you always had movies. I would come home sometimes, because I would sometimes bring in all like 3 or 4 movies at a time back in, and so then you'd leave with a stack of movies.
So you could do like 8 movies a day. Plus, when they first signed up, they would give you like a certain number of just free movie rentals per like section. So
like initially, like that's where I'm like, oh, Blockbuster is going to stick
Netflix
with it.
Can't keep up with this.
But their online selection, they can never, and then their turnaround time on the movies got worse and worse. And then at a certain point, you have watched every movie in the store that you want to watch, because you were limited to whatever was in the store, and they weren't. This was towards where like their stores were starting to fail.
Right.
So like I seriously feel like I watched every movie.
Well, and if you wanted to get something
at my local Blockbuster,
if you wanted to get a disc online that was popular or new,
it took forever.
Yeah, you had to wait forever. So like you just had to go for unpopular stuff because that's what was there. It was fun while it lasted, but they blew that lead.
They had a chance. That's where they really had a chance.
There were times, because this is before we had kids, where Janelle and I, like you said, like we would do 3 movies that we got in the mail, and then 3 movies when we traded them back in, and then
by the time you were done with those, your next 3 movies would get there, and the cycle would continue.
Yeah.
Steve Espinoza says I watched UFC DVDs from 44 to 100.
Oh my god!
Well, I remember because once I watched all the movies I watched, I started watching that's when I did Battlestar Galactica, because I started hitting the TV section.
Oh yeah, that's where we got.
Because I'm like, what else am I gonna watch? And then I just start watching all the TV shows. That was crazy for a bit.
But then they would send them out of order sometimes.
Oh yeah. Well, I only got TV in store because you could not rely on their TV.
They would send the wrong disc it's crazy. I've done mini marathons of all popular movie trilogies, Star Wars and Back to the Future and all that kind of stuff. So Indiana Jones, stuff like that. But yeah.
That's a pretty epic.
None of that could quite. And then Janelle and I did our recent movie theater thing where we saw 8 movies in the theater in 24 hours, something like that. 1, 2.
I am still also proud of my my 10 wrestling shows in 7 days.
Yeah, that was quite a scheduling feat right there.
And I feel like if I had maybe shifted things around, because there was one that I didn't go to because I was worried about the turn, and I totally could have done it.
Could have made it.
And so that would have been, because the ones that were doing it at Tulane University, they never started on time.
Right.
And I was worried about the turnaround between one and the other. I could have made it 12.
That's still a lot of wrestling.
This year, I think when they go up to, they've already announced a lot of the same companies are going up to San Jose. And it's going to be easier to get around because of the light rail.
Right.
And we'll have a car, and I know the area better.
Yeah.
So I think I might be able to beat my record this year.
Dude, you should do it.
But the thing is, I'm going to be with Benson. I don't know if Benson's going to be up for.
Oh, he can do it.
So I think I'm going to try and beat my record this year.
Plus, you have less travel expenses. Yeah. It's not so far.
So I can actually. Well, I'm trying to focus on getting better seats.
Okay.
But I also can have a little bit more money to spend on, because that was the other thing. At a certain point, I'm like, I'm out of. I spent like $200 worth of tickets,
Right.
and like because like everything. But this year I kind of know the system more. Actually, the World Wrestling Network that does the Dragon Gate and Evolve. I didn't know this at the time. They had a pass you could get where it was pay one price, and then you could go to all, and that was like 8 shows. So I didn't know that you could do that. So I bought it. I could only do what I could afford. So I ended up going to like 3 or 4 of their shows.
But you could have done.
I could have done, and those were the ones where I didn't realize. Like once I figured out like how to, and once I knew the fastest, you could. Once I realized you could take. I thought you had to get on the highway from Tulane to like downtown New Orleans. After a while driving around, like I figured out like some of like
the rhythm of the streets.
So I could have totally.
So you got to break your record this year.
Definitely gonna break the record this year.
Vincent can do it.
And they're doing more shows this year. They've already said they're doing like 3 Ring of Honor shows. They're doing like multiple of other things. They're doing 2. They're gonna do 2 WrestleCon shows. They only did 1 last year. So I'll go to all of those.
That's cool.
And I'll do Raw and SmackDown in addition to WrestleMania. So that's all. I mean, that's already like. So that's like 4 WWE shows, and then plus like 7 or 8 or 9 indie shows.
You're gonna blow that record out of the water.
Do it.
Well, I want to hear how your marathon went there.
Yeah, I want to hear the results.
Successful.
Let us know if you never want to hear the and the ding 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 ding, like the Halloween theme,
right.
And the 1, 2, Freddy's coming. You're gonna get sick of all that. Also, I feel like at some point you'd just be numb to horror movies.
What I was thinking would be a good another one if you're gonna do another would be Aliens, Alien, Terminator, and Predator. That'd be a good like 3-part. Ooh. Not quite as long as this one, obviously.
So that's the quadrilogy. Yeah, but some of the newer Terminator movies horrible.
Still, plus if you really wanted to go
There's
crazy,
too much crap in there.
You could throw the TV show in there too.
See,
Sarah Connor.
That's a lot.
I'm just saying that you could get.
See, I'm still upset because the thing of the bump. Did you watch the Sarah Connor?
I did not. No.
Okay, like just as that show was getting amazing, that's when it got canceled. It's so frustrating, and you could tell what they wanted to do. They were gonna like combine. They were gonna merge the TV and the movie universe. They were building all this stuff, and it all collapsed.
It fell apart. They were gonna like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. it.
Yes.
Well, what about Predator 2? How do we feel about Predator 2?
I am pro Predator 2.
Pro Predator 2?
Because Predator 2 is crazy.
Yes, it was.
Scorpio is ready. That's my favorite line from like any movie. We used to use that.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, we used to think of that a lot.
It was I thought
it had the voodoo guy.
Yeah, it was nuts.
And it had one of the most gratuitous sex scenes of all time.
Plus that part when they're all like. That's one that has them all hanging upside down from like meat hooks, right? Ugh, that still creeps me out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
And that's also where the whole Alien versus Predator thing started.
Right, because they had the trophy room.
Stuck in that alien skull, and you know that was some props dude that just like, and then that just set off the world. That set off 1 million.
Has there ever been an Alien Predator Terminator crossover like any of
the comics?
Okay.
So Derek went to Universal Halloween Horror Nights.
Okay.
He said the Alien vs. Predator maze was definitely one of the highlights, and he said they had a 2-story Alien Queen animatronic puppet, and he said it was nuts.
Do you get to go inside?
It was at the very
power
end.
lifter thing.
Well, I don't know about that, but because it was Alien vs. Predator, but he said there was a 2-story Alien Queen puppet that jumped out at you.
That's awesome.
I'm bummed I missed out on that. Yeah, so that's movie marathons and stuff. And you know what else you can marathon?
What's that?
You can marathon podcasts if you listen to them on Stitcher.
And they're all free.
And they just keep going. If you hit that play button on Stitcher, it'll just play forever.
That's amazing.
You load it up with your subscriptions, and you don't even... It's not dealing with these RSS feeds or all that iTunes... You just type the name of the show, subscribe,
plays it right
and
there.
Then it's like there. Like if I go on my phone on Stitcher, it's got all my latest shows, and I don't have to download anything, and it's pretty cool. And when you sign up for your free account, and you can listen to them either on any mobile device or on the web, everywhere, and it keeps your place across everything.
Yep.
And that's why it's so great. And you sign up for that account, that free account, use the code BrendoMan. If you want to know more details, go to radiobrendo.com, click the Stitcher link, or go to stitcher.com/ just click the Radio Brendo. I don't know if it's Radio BrendoMan or / BrendoMan. I don't know anymore. I
think it's Drendo.
DrendoMan.
DrendoMan.
What if we did a Radio DrendoMan? Drendo and Bill.
That'll be maybe our April Fool's one.
No, we already planned our April
we've got
Fools.
A good one.
We have a good plan
Can't wait for April
Fools.
Oh, it's going to be good.
It's going to be good, you guys. Get ready. We're going to be fooling you like we've never been fooled before.
You will be so fooled.
Be so fooled. All right, Dream Host.
Yes.
That was a bad transition.
All right, Dream Host. All right, Dream Host. Yeah.
All right.
Come on down.
I can do it in the if I'm like Bob's Burger, like, Dream Host. All right.
All right.
Dream Host. All right. Have you watched more?
Oh yeah, I watched a bunch more.
Okay, so do you know what I'm talking about? Like when Tina goes from to when she does that, I cannot hold it together when she's doing it. We gotta watch. We should watch them.
We should watch them.
My favorite thing.
So, speaking of that, on DreamHost you could have a website
of Tina.
You can do that. You can do just that. And we're going to be guests on a show that's run by people who took advantage of our DreamHost thing.
Yeah.
Keith and John, our best friend show. We're going to be recording that this weekend.
The plant just moved.
Yeah.
It's raining. It's raining outside.
Oh, are you sure? No, that's a creature. That's a guy holding that leaf out there.
Shut
waving at the window.
Up right
what if it was?
now.
What if a guy popped up right there? Ah, don't punch me. But what if the guy did? And he's like, ah! Creepy in the orchard tonight.
It's because there's rain outside. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure you're right. But it did start
that's
just
some
like
isolated movement right there.
Should I go peek at it? I'm going to peek out.
Don't go peek out, dude.
This is how horror movies start.
He's going to look. This is not War of the Worlds, by the way. This is 100% real. He's looking. He's looking. Is it a creature?
I don't see anything down there. Also, I don't think it's raining.
It was raining when I went out there to get the mic.
I think it's a cat.
Oh, it's a cat?
Well, because it's connected to the tunnel that goes under there.
You still haven't figured out how to plug up your cat tunnel?
No, it's hard.
You gotta flood them out. Flood them out.
It's not the cat tunnel. That's definitely what it is.
Flood them out.
That was a cat that went through.
Can't you just fill it up with cement?
That's a huge area. I don't know, but you know where I could. Yeah, it's not raining.
Oh.
That was a cat. Or some other creature.
What if it's a guy pretending to be a cat crawling into the cat hole?
Locking the door. Okay, it's locked. We're
Yeah.
safe. Whew, that was a good Halloween treat.
Halloween
this
treats.
Is Halloween. This is Halloween treat.
Disney's Halloween
Yeah,
treat.
yeah, like mix those together.
Yeah, great. Well, you know what else is great?
What else
Saving
is
money on DreamHost.
Yes, it is.
You can save $50 off your order.
That's not
Any
scary
order.
at all.
Yeah, it's not scary at all. It's super easy
Yeah.
through their easy domain registration system.
Just click the link on our website.
Yeah, you can use the promo code Radio BrendoMan
That's
when
good.
you check out.
I wouldn't be scared of that at all.
You also get a free domain registration. You know what else is even easier? You
Even
can
easier
get
still.
Halloween tricks and treats. Actually, it's almost November 1st, so it's almost holiday shopping season.
That's right.
And you want to get all your holiday shopping done quick and easy on Amazon.com. Before you go to Amazon to buy all that stuff, stop looking over there.
That's a scary plant out there.
Go to radiobrendo.com
Click the Amazon link.
and then just shop away.
Buy what you would normally buy.
Buy everything.
And it'll help us, and we'll read out the funny stuff that you buy anonymously.
Like a Netgear RangeMax wireless router. That's hilarious. It's only
Trying that out
$24. That's a
Good
good
deal.
deal.
Good deal.
We got 17-inch Trailmaker backpack book bag.
One size.
It's $11.
It's a good deal for a
Good deal
book
on a
bag.
bag. We got Global Vision eyewear, something, Paragon goggles, sunglasses, $8.
Good. Yeah. Tint lens, yellow tint. That's
DC
cool.
Collectibles Before Watchmen, Dr. Manhattan statue. DC Collectibles Before Watchmen, the comedian statue. Somebody likes their Watchmen statues.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, so there you go. We got Doctor Who, personalize your own sonic screwdriver. So you get to like make your own sonic screwdriver.
Over 80 combinations.
Yeah.
Good deal.
It's pretty awesome. We got Lego Star Wars, the ghost building toy.
What's the ghost building toy?
I don't know.
How come I don't even know what that is? That's like it's got to be a new.
It is.
Yeah, that's something I'm not familiar with, I guess.
Some kind of ship.
Clone Wars, maybe?
The Ghost.
The Ghost. Huh. I don't even know what that is.
It's never before seen with weapon. Oh, comes with new minifigs.
Okay. Well, that explains it.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's exciting. So Legos.
I'm all for buying
Legos.
Some
Legos. I think it's from Star Wars Rebels.
That's the new
one.
Yeah,
it is from Star Wars Rebels. So
oh, okay. That's cool.
They've already got Star Wars Rebels Legos.
Of course. Those things sell like hotcakes.
Yeah.
Hotcakes sell fast? I mean, is that a thing?
I guess like if you're selling hotcakes, I think
people will buy them.
People buy a lot of hotcakes.
I guess so. You don't just buy one,
stack.
right? You get a stack.
Unless you're like, what do you want? One pancake?
You can't have one pancake. It's like having one potato chip.
Can't you just one?
What else? What else?
We got Sunset Overdrive Day 1 edition for Xbox One. I've been hearing very good things about this game.
Yeah.
It's been good reviews.
Someone's trying to sway the whole bet over to Josh and Brendo's side there, I see.
Well, Adam Wells told me he actually, it's not on here, so I don't know what happened.
Okay.
But he actually pre-ordered an Xbox One and then forgot about it, and then he's keeping it.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's it, or maybe it's this. Maybe it's just
the
maybe,
game.
I don't know.
It could be.
But whatever. So that's funny. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks for buying stuff, guys. Keep up the good work.
Keep on clicking that Amazon banner.
Especially with Christmas around the corner, there's lots of opportunities to buy stuff.
That's our big support time.
So we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Very, very much.
And speaking of video games, we played a lot of them.
Yes, we did.
Played a lot of them last week.
Last week at the Extra Damage.
Extra Life Marathon.
It was very fun.
Played some Super Nintendo wrestling games. Played some sports with friends.
Sports with friends and sports ball,
and
you guys
sports
did.
Ball and
Mario Kart.
Kart. We played. What else did we play?
Well, that climbing your friends. What was that called?
Oh yeah, Mount Your Friends.
Mount Your Friends. That is a weird game, but it's actually really addictive. After we played it for a while, I was thinking of the buttons and how I want to learn how to do it better. But also,
you gotta get those advanced maneuvers where
they launch each other.
Yeah,
that was fun. And then there was one other. What else did I? Oh, the Tetris one. That was my favorite of the night, I think.
Oh yeah, it was Tetris Gaiden,
which was a Japanese only release on Super Nintendo, I think. Yeah, and it was really cool. It's got
these weird power ups, and you play different characters,
and they each have different levels of power ups and stuff.
Yeah.
And I pretty much kicked butt all around, but there was one contender who was able to actually.
It got real close.
It was close. I almost was toppled. And who was that contender?
That was me.
That's right. Everyone's like, oh, no one can beat Phil. Then Brendan came out and beat me in round 1.
Almost beat
me in round 2.
Down to the wire. Round
and then I
3
took the third
was pretty
round.
Close to, but not nearly as close. Round 2 came down to the very last play.
Because most other people, it was over fairly quickly.
Phil's the best Tetris player I know by far.
I've played enough with Brendo. He knows my ways.
So he taught me a lot of the skills.
It was fun. It was
also,
good,
we spent an entire vacation pretty much doing nothing but playing Tetris DS.
Yes.
I think we alternated between that and Boggle, but then Janelle would get mad at me playing Boggle.
Because Boggle, Brendan just types
My Boggle strategy is to just start making every word.
And the thing is, he would win every time.
Because you guys have to verify them, and at some point you would just get so mad, because Brendan has 200 words.
Yeah,
and then you got to
forever. We have to both look through all of them.
It'd be like Hubburger.
I'm not playing this game with you anymore. Okay, and the other good thing about the Extra Damage thing is they raised I remember correctly, it's like 1700 and
1750, 1800.
Something like, but it was 1701 47.
Mm.
And I know because I donated the $1.47 to make their numbers uneven.
Oh my gosh. You're that guy.
I'm the guy that did $1.47. Now here's the thing. I wasn't even planning on it. I went and played and blah 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 and money being a little tight that it was, but I had a little leftover balance on my PayPal account. And I was like, hey, why not throw it towards their direction? And then I watched their stream this is after I got home from doing it. And like I was waiting for someone to make fun of me for doing it, and they didn't really address it. They didn't feed the troll, basically.
Yeah. So
that was all right. It was worth it. I hope it helped a little bit.
I also played, the free month of WWE Network is, if you want to get in on the WWE fandom, WWE Network is free in November, you guys. So
the preview month.
Yeah, the preview month.
Wait, so I can stick my VHS tape in and record all the stuff that's playing?
That's not how it works.
That's how it used to work when we had free Showtime or HBO.
What should I watch on the WWE Network? Well, it depends. Like, if you like old school or new school, we're on the podcast right now. Yes.
Yes, this is it. We're recording.
We have been recording.
Craig's in the chat asking some questions.
So what should you watch? Depends. I'm not a huge wrestling fan. Well, then what you might want to do is watch some of the documentaries on there. If you go to Beyond the, if you're a big fan, so the culture, like if you go to Beyond the Ring, there are tons of awesome documentaries. I highly recommend like the Ricky Steamboat documentary is great. All of them they make some really good documentaries. The CM Punk documentary is awesome.
So then you know what the heck it is that you're watching.
Yeah, and their documentaries these days, they pull the curtain back and like they're really good quality documentaries. The Monday Night War series is pretty awesome. The countdown shows are actually really entertaining, and they're like little bites, so you can like easy to digest. Like best of. And then if you're looking for just a good, solid wrestling show, as Steve Espinoza points out, NXT is probably the best because it's their developmental system.
Okay.
But Vince McMahon doesn't touch it. It's Triple H that runs everything. And he runs it like an old school like NWA show where each week builds to the next week. They don't give you everything all at once, which Raw tends to do. They actually will like tease things and build them out, and every match means something. Like it's building to some angle. You see a lot of new talent. You're looking at guys that are going to be headlining WrestleManias 10, 20 years from now. Like these are the future, and it's also I also think it is the future of the company because what you're looking at is what WWE is going to look like when Triple H is running things. Once Vince either probably dies because I feel like he's not going to let it go. So if you, this is currently happening. And then there's so many great pay-per-views. I've been watching a lot of any WCW Clash of the Champions are pretty good. Old ECW pay-per-views. Again, free month of November. So if you're looking in the past here, you can watch every WrestleMania. If I'm talking about classic WrestleManias, WrestleMania 3 is a must. WrestleMania 6, just for the importance of it. WrestleMania 10, because it has two of the best matches probably ever in the Bret Hart versus Owen Hart and Shawn Michaels Razor Ramon ladder match 1. What else? I know there's tons, but that's where I would start.
It's a good start.
It's
quite a bit to start.
But a lot of the documentaries, again, go to Beyond the Ring and just watch a bunch of. There's some pretty awesome documentaries on there.
Did you know, speaking of the history of sport things, that there is no video or film of the first Super Bowl?
Oh, really?
Yeah. They didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. There is audio recording of it, like from the radio, but there's no film or video.
I think there's a lot of things like that. Like, a lot of the really old, like, again, with, there's all these, really epic old wrestling. Same thing with, wrestling, boxing.
Nobody thought anyone would care to see it later on.
Because a lot of this stuff was, like people, they weren't taping the they weren't taping everything.
Right.
Like now, all these places, like even like everything is taped, everything is like available, but like it wasn't the case. Like the idea of like people, why is somebody gonna want to watch this?
Right.
And also, what are they gonna watch it on?
Right.
Like, because the idea of home media didn't exist. So, yeah.
That's been sports talk.
This has been sports and wrestling talk.
It's about as much sports as I know.
So what else? Oh, I played at the Extra Damage Marathon. I finished off my run by playing Goat Simulator for about 30 minutes, and that game is crazy, and it's really fun. But Josh was kind of walking me through all like the super ridiculous things you can do. So I got, because like there's a bunch of secrets you can unlock and like secret powers, and I got to the point where I could did not play Five Nights because we were there late, and Josh's apartment has
multiple
shared walls, and I would have.
We were already too loud.
We were already being loud.
Just
like
by our natural
when Rachel
voices.
came home, she's like, "I can hear you guys like from out in the parking area."
And that was at like 1 in the morning already.
So yeah, we couldn't really, but
yeah, they had to start getting mellower because we were playing like, no, the other one, my other favorite one that we played. What's it called? Samurai Gun.
Oh, dude, Samurai Gun
is awesome.
Is an awesome game.
That was actually my other favorite.
And it's sad because again, it's another one of those local multiplayer games, not online. So if you don't have friends that you can play with, that's like one of those things you can only bust out when you have a bunch of people locally.
But when you do have a room full of people doing it, that was awesome and intense. And when you like get on a spree, it feels like I'm awesome at this. So it was good.
I will play Five Nights at Freddy's at some point. It's in a couple Humble Bundles right now, actually. So I might pick it up.
You totally could. You can play my brother's. He hasn't had a chance to respond to the last one, so I can't comment on it just yet.
So the thing, it got to the point in Goat Simulator where I almost crashed Josh's computer because it was like, well, if you start really messing around with it, there's so many bugs and glitches that like it can bring even like the strongest computer to its knees. Because I got this power where you like basically become like a demon goat, and you can summon as many, like you right click and you just start summoning goats they start falling from the sky. And then I turned on my other power, and like I just start sucking things up in like this whirlwind. So I'm like generating all these goats, and I'm like just doing all this other stuff, and it was really fun. Had a good time.
But I think you were done with that by the time I made it home to watch more.
I have been obsessed with not going to say recently. I don't know what that is.
Not going to say is the hashtag. So it means he's not going to tell us what that is. If he was going to tell us,
he would say.
And he's not going to. What's up with that? What's up with that? We were watching some SNL. I just got to say real quick, the new cast, it's really good. I like them a lot.
Fully approved.
I think it's really, really good. They got some great new people in there.
They're clicking.
The guys that do Weekend Update are really funny. So
I agree.
Yeah, good stuff.
So anyways, Extra Damage, Extra Life, thanks for everybody that was in the stream.
Yeah.
Thanks for everybody that donated. All right, so we're going to be swapping. So we got another transient talk.
Yes, some transient talk here.
I had a rough week this week.
Brendan was close to a meltdown.
Phil had to talk me down.
I had a Brendo whisper this week.
So,
the
thing you mentioned and get swarmed docs. Oh, that whole thing. I don't want to talk about that.
All right.
It's something that starts with a G and ends with the gate.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that's a whole ball of wax. No?
No? Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
Very mysterious in the chat here.
You're being mysterious. Oh, he said don't say.
Oh, don't say.
They're not. Whatever. I don't care.
All right.
Stupid.
Well, anyway, tell us this tale of where you found yourself on Friday night.
I found myself trapped in a parking lot because I was out of gas. I was overdrawn on my bank account because I hadn't got my paycheck yet, and I had spent over between moving and all this other stuff. I was overdrawn, and I had just I was trapped in a parking lot. Had to wait until my paycheck deposited at midnight,
so you
or
put
around
gas
midnight,
in.
so I could put gas and then get to your house. And until then, I just
you were there for like what, 7 hours? 9 hours?
I got there at like 3 o'clock.
Yeah, he called me at like 3, and he had just pulled in his parking lot and said he couldn't go any further. And I said, "What are you gonna do?" And he just like walked. What did you do? What did you do for 9 hours?
I walked a long ways. I found another strip mall.
Went in Target.
Read a magazine. Then I read I started looking through the books, looked through the new release. It's been a while since I looked at Blu-rays, so I just want to see what was going on in the Blu-ray world.
Yeah.
Looked at all of the video games.
Played a demo.
Played a Hyrule Warriors demo, which that game is awesome.
I need to check it out.
It's so much fun. I loved it.
Not that I don't respect Josh's video game taste, but it's hard to get a objective review on a Dynasty Warriors related game from him. So it's good to hear that from someone.
I've never played Dynasty Warriors.
From someone who's not like a fanboy.
And I was like, this is amazing. I'm going to buy this when I get a Wii U.
All right.
Here's when I get, again, like when I'm on the Severance, it's like the bar mitzvah money.
Severance money, yeah.
So it's Wii U, Mario Kart 8, definitely Hyrule Warriors, probably Bayonetta 2.
Yeah.
And Smash Bros.
Smash Brothers. There's a lot of good stuff.
See ya, Craig.
Thanks for hanging out. All right, so you played some demos, you walked around.
Then I walked to another grocery store. What else did I do? I don't know. I just
You played
walking.
DS for a while, right?
I played DS for a little while. I read 220 pages of Ready Player One.
Just because.
I tried to sleep a couple times, but just couldn't do it for a while. I was freaking out because it was like scary.
So you walked then back to the car.
Well, then I went I went around to some grocery stores trying to look for some free samples.
There was no Costco around.
Couldn't find any. I don't know. I was like being real homeless. It was like homeless life. Really understood like this is boring.
Yeah.
I can totally see why one would want to just get drunk and put yourself to sleep in a nice
there's nothing
warm.
to do.
There is nothing to do.
Yeah, you can't be productive because what are you going to get done?
Yep.
Clean out your back seat, I guess.
And most real homeless people don't have cars.
Yeah, you're a step ahead already.
So that was just like a little taste of how horrible it would be.
So I got a call at like midnight, a little after midnight.
Panic Brendo.
From Panic Brendo. I mean, this was like serious panic. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, Panic Brendo. And, I talked to him earlier. I knew where he was at. I knew he was waiting for the check to go through. This was like at 12:05.
Check wasn't going through yet.
The check did not go through.
So I was like, what is happening?
He ran through every possible like worst case scenario. Like, what if they don't pay me for another month and I'm going to be stuck here? I'm going to die. I'm going to starve to death. So I began the Brendo whisper, talked him down a bit.
Well, the best thing you did is you started talking about other stuff. You're like, what'd you do today?
Yeah.
Tell me about this. Oh, what happened
Told him
with
about
this? Here's what's going on with this. We were able to salvage. We did have like a recording mishap.
Right, with the last episode.
Because, but we were able to fix it once we did Popsicles. I figured out the problem was, so the laptop that I don't have my PC with me. I have my crappy Dell laptop that basically all I was using it for usually is to run our D&D games on.
Right.
It's my D&D laptop, and that's pretty much all it's able to do. So I was overtaxing it by running Skype. Google Hangouts would not work.
No.
So like it would crash and it crashed out.
Yeah.
So
number of times.
we did Skype and we did Audacity. And having that running at the same time on the machine was causing the CPU to stutter, and when it did that, it caused the recording to slowly get off sync.
Yeah.
From yours.
And what I think happened is like whenever yours would have a stutter or whatever, like snip a little part.
Yeah.
So in the end, mine was like 2 minutes longer than yours.
Yeah.
So all I did is I went back through and found places where it started to get off, and I just snipped little empty stuff out of mine.
So then on Wednesday we did Popsicles, and I decided we did a hangout on my phone. you can't do the stream to YouTube when you do that.
Right.
So it's not as efficient.
But temporary fix.
But then it totally worked. Like I got Derek and Matt's Benson's recordings and everything synced up. So
that would be really hard to do.
Figure out the solution. Yeah.
Oh, if it was mixed up. I mean, because it took me a long time to go through.
I wouldn't have done it.
Still.
I would have been like.
Well, but I knew that needed.
And
to
now
happen.
that you know this can do, we're going to be able to salvage our no holds barred commentary.
No holds barred commentary, yes. It's going to take some time, but I can do it. But I knew that was good news. I knew Brendo was like sad about losing.
Salvage that. I'm putting that up tomorrow. Yep. Probably tomorrow.
So I got him talking about that, and he was happy about that. And then we started talking about other things, and he started calming down. And we came up with a game plan, and we figured out that, like, what the worst case scenario, you'd have to walk to work like a couple miles, and then have them, like, you get them to pay you, like, do a sit-in.
Well, I got the paycheck, but then my bank was being stupid, and then I was just done. And
so you wound up having to stay there for the night.
So then I did end up sleeping in my car, which I got cold. So then all I had were like my pajama bottoms. So then I kind of wore my pajama bottoms.
On your arm.
It's like I put my arm through.
Like you don't think about it, right?
Somebody walked by and saw this dude with like Homer Simpson pajama bottoms and his like this weird Homer Simpson pajama bottom scarf, like all like curled up in my car, like I'm sure that was. Yeah.
The fact that it's the Homer Simpson ones is the best. Oh my gosh.
So that's a whole experience.
Yeah.
I hope I don't have to repeat.
So you made it though.
Yes.
Got through that. You made it here.
Made it here this morning.
Bright and early.
We watched Audrey get an award at school, the longest assembly ever.
Longest assembly ever.
And then we did Halloween stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I managed to not let Luke didn't die on my watch.
Yeah, you were with him for like 2.5 hours.
Because you had to go volunteer at school. We had bro time.
Yeah, you guys played action figures.
Well, because I assumed it was gonna be an easy, like, I'm gonna play DS, he's gonna watch a show. He watches like 1-2 episodes of the Spider-Man and Friends, and he's like, I want to do something else, and I'm like, all right, let's do it. I'm not gonna force you to watch TV if you don't want to. So I'm like, you want to play? I wore him out. We ran ran all over the place. We were playing with action figures. We did all kinds of cool stuff. We played with the kaleidoscope.
8-count Chocula.
8-count Chocula. Luke gave me permission.
Yeah.
I told him some stories of when we were in college and thought it was funny. Just various things. I think kids are fascinated because I was I think it's cool hearing stories about your parents when they were younger, and and we've known each other so long. So I told him a story because we were talking about how he prefers Frankenberry over Count Chocula because he likes strawberry milk more than chocolate milk. And I said the same thing because when I was a kid, up until actually just a few years ago, I hated chocolate milk.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I liked Cocoa Puffs, but I wouldn't, and fruit and Cocoa Pebbles, but I would not drink the milk. I would dump it out.
Travesty.
I know. I know.
Oh.
But this is how much I despise. I don't know when that happened. What? I think I might have had a bad experience as a kid, but I don't remember it. So I hated chocolate milk, and that's weird, right? Because all kids
who doesn't
love
like chocolate milk?
I know. It's so weird. Oh. And my brother because we always had Quick, because my brother drank that stuff a faucet. To the point where my mom would get mad at him because he'd go through a whole jar, he would get it so it was super. Oh, you know what else I found?
What?
I did find something for you when I was looking around. Fresh and Easy has this British candy section.
Really?
They have Maltesers.
What?
Yes.
I might need to go to Fresh and Easy.
Maltesers, dude.
They have British candy.
They have British Maltesers.
Oh.
Those are only from England, right? That's a big.
I think so.
I've never seen them anywhere else.
We need to go there.
Because Maltesers.
We have a Fresh and Easy here.
Yeah. So supposedly, I've never actually had them, but I've heard Maltesers make Whoppers look like garbage.
Yeah. I mean, it's I love malts.
That's all you're about. I remember you getting in an argument with a waitress.
This has happened on numerous occasions.
You're like, I want a malt. So shake. No, they're different. No, they're the same.
It's the same thing.
A malt has malt in it. What
and
is
they
malt?
bring me a shake. I'm like, there's no malt in
I've
this.
seen him
It's a shake.
send back shakes.
If it says malt, it's got to have malt in it.
So I've seen Phil have arguments with angry waitresses.
I was nicer than that, but
Yeah,
I
but
definitely
still,
sent it back though. I didn't want a shake. I want a malt.
malt, not the same.
Also,
So Maltesers.
Malteser. We need to go there.
And what were we talking about before then? Oh, that
Count
Luke
Choculates.
didn't die. Oh, so the story.
Yes.
So then I went into the story about how because of that I drank strawberry milk, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I like strawberry milk," and I was like, "Well, I almost ruined strawberry milk for me because." So I remember a lot of times you and we were both insomniacs in college, like hardcore, to the point where like we were like reverse vampire. We were like vampires, not reverse
totally.
vampires.
We were actual
vampires.
Yeah.
Like, and sometimes we operated on very little sleep in college.
Oh yes, very little sleep.
Like to the point where I'm like, I wish I could do that. So
I know.
we got so much stuff done.
Yeah, that's why it felt like such a long time because we never slept.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Some restaurants say malt or shake would give you the same thing, and that's BS.
That's right. If it says they have a malt, I want the malt. If it only says shake, I'm not going to argue with them. But if they say the word malt,
if they separate malts and shakes,
it needs to have malt in it.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
And there's a reason why it's called malt.
That's like having a hamburger and a cheeseburger, and you just give me a hamburger with no cheese, and say, oh, it's the same thing. It says cheese, I want the cheese.
So
it's fair. All right.
Back to
strawberry milk.
So we'd be up late at night, and once it gets past midnight, like your options for like snacks or anything. Yeah. So a lot of times we would go on late night Albertsons runs.
Yeah, because there was a 24-hour Albertsons.
One of which resulted in us. We did learn our lesson about walking there.
Yeah, you don't walk.
Because we did get jumped walking to the Albertsons.
Yeah.
So after that, we'd hop in the celly.
Yep.
Go on a little Albies
There's
run.
also, remember, there's the 24-hour Kmart down in Imperial, so we'd sometimes hit that one too.
Super K.
That one was sketchy in the middle of the night.
Oh, dude, you would see some stuff.
Yeah.
In there.
Kmart in the middle of the night.
I remember going there with Nick Askew, like when the episode 1 merchandise was released,
right?
And him spending, like, he bought every single episode 1 thing they had, including, I just remember this very specifically, a Darth Maul soap on a rope. Like, that's to the level, like, every single possible episode was. He had a cart full of episodes. That was when he was convinced that it was going to win Best Picture and, like, all the Oscars.
Oh, how little he knew.
Like, at least he didn't pull a Ben and give.
That's true. He drew the line at the tattoos.
Well, anyways, that's a little side story. So we would be up at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and we need some, and so you got like, you know, probably like a normal size soda or like something, and for some reason I got like the biggest thing of strawberry Nesquik, like strawberry
probably like half gallon or something.
It was like a giant thing, and then we went back to your room. And I drank the whole thing in like an hour.
Yep.
And then it's bad. It's so bad.
You can only have so much strawberry milk at once.
Well, like I just know that like I'm pretty sure my poo was pink. Pink poo. So that turned me off to strawberry, but I quickly rebounded on strawberry milk. I still love strawberry milk. But now I've grown to love chocolate.
Speaking of Nesquik, one of my all-time favorite things to do with ice cream, plain vanilla ice cream, and then douse it in chocolate Nesquik powder. That is like the best topping.
Well, I remember you would do that in the cafeteria.
Oh yeah. That's the best.
No wonder we're fat.
I like to eat.
Well, I just think about like that cafeteria, man. We had real ice cream every day.
Every meal.
And then we'd have root beer floats.
Yeah.
We'd make our own root beer floats. Yeah. We had an orange bang machine.
And then
we had.
I can't remember if the Mountain Dew floats came in, or they had. Remember a Mountain Dew slushies?
We didn't. They didn't. I wasn't there when that.
Oh, okay, that was after you were there. But still, that came in too. I mean, there was.
Well, they had a freaking Slurpee machine.
Not to mention there was cold cereal.
Well, then that year they had the donut machine.
Oh yeah, fresh donuts.
Oh my gosh.
I just know I had every meal, no matter what we had. I started it with a bowl of either Golden Grahams
Golden G's,
or
if they had it,
and if not, then Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
Like every meal, that's what I started. That was like the starter, the appetizer. And then like you'd have, if there was for lunch, you had sandwiches plus a hot dish.
Yeah.
So I always go for whatever the hot dish was.
If it was like carne asada night or something,
oh,
like
dude,
you just go
all bets
town.
are off. Not to mention Sunday brunch, mashed potatoes,
turkey.
mashed potatoes, the turkey. Yeah, I mean they had good food, and I visited a lot of colleges, and college food is usually not that good.
Well, that was where, so you know who else uses Bon Appetit? Was Concordia Irvine.
Oh, right.
So whenever I visited John and Justin at work, I'm like, we're going to because it was like Biola Cafeteria all over again.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, I would get so fat here because they got employee discounts. So like it was like $3 a meal.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I cannot work here because I would get like my freshman 15 at Biola was like freshman 100.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, it was that good. We ate a lot of food there.
I had the full throttle energy drink Slurpee. It was pretty intense.
Oh, really?
But I just remember I came home and my mom's like, I'm getting you a personal trainer.
I
had a personal trainer.
What did you do? Yeah, I mean, we managed, because we were young, we managed to hold off some of it, but if we were to do what we did in college now, we would
die.
Mr. Creosote
between that
right here.
And like we did not sleep, we'd be dead.
Yeah.
Not to mention the insane amounts of caffeine that we were consuming.
Oh yeah. Whoa.
What? Light went on.
Oh. The plant's moving. I'm going to go look at it.
This is freaking me out, man.
This is Halloween. Disney's Halloween.
Something's going to pop out at you.
Oh, it's not motion.
Oh, it's a cat tunnel?
Pretty sure it's cat tunnel.
We're right on top of it.
Yeah.
That freak. Why do motion lights exist?
To terrify you. Whew. All right, it's okay. It's okay.
This isn't a work, you guys. This is real. This is really.
This is real. This is not just a Halloween special. It's really happening.
So, college.
So you played with Luke. You told him stories. We're going back out of the Inception tunnel here.
We played because it was funny. Right towards the end, he's like, this is our chance to play with Audrey's toys while she's gone. The way he wanted to.
Yeah.
So he's like, instead of like Prince Philip and Prince Aurora getting married, like Prince Philip can fly. Prince Philip has spring shoes.
Is there like
Prince
lava
Philip is invisible.
Or
There's lava. He's jumping out of the lava, and I'm like, Prince Philip is having quite an adventure today.
Yeah.
If this was the sleeping, it's Drendo for his revenge.
Drendo, Return of the Drendo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's great because like Audrey will play with him, but he's got to stick to the rules if he's going to use her toys.
Yeah.
That's his only chance. I'm glad you got it.
And it's also funny because he has these Big Hero 6 toys, and all his whole knowledge of Big Hero 6 is based off the trailer.
Right.
But so nice. He's like filling in the gaps. He's like, this guy has wheels. I don't know why. Actually, this is a girl, and I think she's in love with this boy.
Yeah, because she has a heart on her back.
And this guy's a bad guy, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure these are the same guy, just with different clothes. He's like, no, that's a bad guy. This guy with suction cups and 3 eyes. He's a good guy, and this is Max, and he says like the lines from the trailer.
Yeah. Oh,
he's just kind of filling in the gaps. That was my favorite thing, was listening to him fill in those storytelling. Like stories for these things. All based on the trailer, but he's
because we've watched those trailers for Big Hero 6 like 50 times. Like, Daddy, can we watch it again? Like, he's so excited for that movie. So
yeah, but he's got all the toys. He's very excited about it. And what else did we do? I don't know. We played with Kaleidoscope.
Yeah, which came in handy.
Yeah.
So it was good Halloween day. Then when we came home, we played Zelda, went outside, did tree cleanup, poo cleanup.
Yep. It was like me going like, there's some poo. There's some poo there.
Yeah, that was pretty much your participation. More poo. Was pointing out the poo.
Yeah, I broke up some branches.
I mean, as far as the poo goes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Fun day.
So, see, we got you through it.
Did.
You just had to get through the night.
Made it through, and then Janelle gave me some helpful hints.
Yeah, you got some tips
on how to get some
how to fast that
cash.
That's right.
If I need to.
Because boy, do we have experience in that.
But I think I'm getting out of that. I've got one more month, man. I'm almost approaching the 1 month, and I'm done.
That's it.
And I had my second phone interview with Amazon.
That's right.
If I pass this one, I get to at least get a free trip to Seattle.
You got to take that.
So I go to Seattle. They do like a series of like 5 interviews. That freaked me out. Like
that is intense.
But they did that at WebSense too. It was like one interview after the other, and.
But like flying somewhere adds to the pressure too, because you're like.
But at the very least, free trip to Seattle.
Right.
I can probably meet up with my bro if the timing works out, because he comes up to Seattle quite a bit. And
again, as much as it saddens me, if that works out, it's really cool.
It's the only job I'm seeking right now. If I don't get this, then I am UPIPA bound and working on certificates.
You got a good plan.
So I can not work tech support anymore.
Somehow Seattle doesn't feel as far away, too. I don't know why.
Oh, Josh is here.
What's up, Josh?
You missed all our talking about...
all about you a bunch.
Yeah. We were talking, we already did our recap of The Extra Life.
And it was a good one.
And we're freaking out about Kat setting off Phil's motion light.
Yeah. Terrifying night.
And
I confess that I was the one that donated $1.47 to you guys. And then you didn't even make a huge deal about it and make fun of me or anything.
I will listen to later.
We had to give you a quick recap. That's a chat recap.
For those of you in the chat.
For those in the chat, yes. Previously on Radio BrendoMan.
I'm too tired now.
We should do previously ons at the beginning of each episode.
That's dumb.
But we could just reenact the previous week.
Yeah.
Previously on Radio BrendoMan.
Check this out.
Oh, there's a cat outside.
Might be a guy.
It's a terrible idea. Because that just happened on this show.
Yeah. I'm homeless.
Well, Brendan's homeless, but now he's okay. He did freak out.
I did freak out. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I was just like every horrible scenario was playing.
And you ran through it. I'm not gonna get paid. I'm gonna starve to death. Someone's gonna attack me. He was even afraid there was a security guard roaming around the parking lot, which should be more comforting.
Well, my whole thing was what if he calls the cops? What am I gonna tell the cops? What if my car gets towed and then I'm just trapped? And
I was trying to figure out how I could get him $20 to get up here.
Scenario is just all these scenarios, the worst thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just this sucks. And I'm is this what every day is like?
Well, the other thing too that we talked about is you were saying that at the stores you felt like people were looking at you oh, look at that guy, he's just walking around.
I was disheveled and.
Yeah, but the funny part is,
nobody knows.
Nobody knows. They don't know. I mean, how many times?
And they don't even.
No
they
one's
don't care.
Attention. But to you, and I remember this though.
You get this
being
start.
That you feel
get
very everyone
self-conscious.
Knows. Yeah, everyone knows that guy. That guy doesn't have a house. No, nobody cares. They don't even know you're walking around. And when you do have a place, we go to Target all the time and don't buy anything. Nobody knows. Nobody sees oh, look at that guy. He walked out without buying something. But when you don't have that home base, it feels that way. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
I also miss my bed.
Yeah.
And my computer.
Yeah.
And my PlayStation.
Yeah.
And my Xbox.
Yeah.
And my good internet.
Well, yeah. It's not so bad here, though, right?
Well, here's fine.
Better here than the hotel.
Hotel internet sucks.
Yeah. It's good.
Because every time you close your computer, because not only do you sign on, but then you have to log in on a page. You have to go to their little web, and you have to do it every single time. If you put your computer to sleep or anything, you have to do it again.
Yep.
And then I have to do it on my DS and anything, and even then I couldn't get it's one of those things where I couldn't get the online play to work, but I could let me go to the eShop, and I'm really stupid internet. I guess it doesn't support some of the protocols.
Yeah,
required. Dumb, because I couldn't play my because there's a mode in online play on Smash Brothers where if you play as certain characters and it builds a global score for that characters.
Right.
And then if your character wins, you get bonus stuff.
Huh.
And you can get some pretty good rewards from doing that, and I couldn't participate all last week.
Well, here's my homeless tip then. Sometimes it actually works if you open up the web browser on the 3DS. It'll actually take you to that login
I
page.
did that.
Oh, you did that.
But then even when you're connected, if a Wi-Fi access point is configured a certain way, it won't let you do online gameplay.
Oh, okay.
It'll just let you browse the web and do stuff. Because it's the same thing with my Wi-Fi guest network at work.
Oh, okay.
You have to be like, if there certain things aren't configured properly, it won't work. Nintendo Wi-Fi connection is very specific about what kind of connection you need to be able to do anything.
Well, they're not all that way, so hopefully.
I understand. So I'm trying. I'm probably gonna try a different hotel this week.
You haven't booked for this upcoming week.
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm going to.
We'll have to help you. Maybe Janelle and I can.
Well, I don't need help.
Well, we're good. We like to help.
Yeah, but the help last week was telling me to get the one that I had already
That
decided.
was your best option at that point.
And this one's still my best option.
Might be.
We'll see.
So you're not a fan of the whole.
Not a fan of hotel living. Not a fan of, I don't know, man. I'm just not a fan.
I feel like, I definitely got to that point. I think we lasted longer, but we had like each other. I had kids.
But how do you do that with a kid though?
It was tough. And let me tell you, checkout day with a kid was my nightmare. Because when I had to check out, Janelle was already at school, so I had to do the whole checkout, move all our stuff out with a kid. It was So my favorite was to stay in a motel type thing where you could pull up to the door. Because then I could prop the door open, put, baby in the little carrier thing, and then I could actually move stuff. But then if you stayed in one of like indoor corridors, like a Holiday Inn kind of thing, you have to like push a stroller back and forth the whole way. I'd have to do like 8 loads just to get our stuff out.
You also have a lot of crap.
Well, but we had to have enough to I had to have baby toys with us.
Yeah.
And we had to have.
Well, I need Brendo toys.
Yeah, but I had Phil toys.
I've got my DS, my tablet, my laptop bag, my backpack, my suitcase with all of my clothing in it, and my toiletries.
See, I had all that stuff plus baby stuff and Janelle's stuff.
That's where I'm like, can't imagine.
Yeah, it's not fun.
So yeah, so the summary of that is homeless sucks.
Homeless sucks. Yes, it does.
And so book corner.
Yeah.
Didn't really get to finish any books.
You read some stuff.
But I'm still reading Jam. I started The Great Brain here at your house, and I'm going to borrow it if that is okay.
What do you think so far?
It's pretty entertaining. Still just started. It was
just
the
started.
First. I'm 20 pages in. And then, like I said, during my homeless night last night, I read 220 pages of Ready Player One, and that book it's the best book.
It is really good.
And it also makes me dream of if that was real.
Oh yeah.
And not even the idea, let alone the idea of the Oasis. That to me is just that would be so amazing. But just the idea that I can play every video game ever, read every book ever, watch every movie ever, watch any TV show ever, everything
but we're
ever.
Not that far away from
We're
the crazy
not that far. And now getting into Oculus Rift and stuff.
Yeah, we're
I'm
we're
getting there. But we're still pretty far away on that haptic response type stuff.
Right.
But I feel like we're getting closer.
So good though.
And I would totally be a dude that lived in an empty apartment and just my haptic rig, and I just live in the Oasis forever. There's sounds. Did you hear?
Yeah. Probably just a coyote or something. I don't know.
Come live in Ukaipa!
Come to Ukaipa. Well, it is terrifying, but it's still, it's
There's
good.
no way publishers are going exactly. That's true. As long as big media is around with the whole everything ever. But maybe because that's true. Because the whole thing was it was that far into the future that a lot of the stuff was.
All public domain. But at the very least, you could
just
still.
Boo Radley. Oh, shut up.
At the very least, though, you could still go to a virtual library and have access to it all.
It is nice. That's the one thing about being homeless is I can still carry all my books around.
That's right.
And I still got Netflix. I still got WWE Network. I got all the wrestling I want to watch.
When we were at that point, this is pre-smartphone even.
So it's crazy that at this point that I can carry around all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then as far as video games go, I got a lot of stuff so
you can keep occupied, but still
it still gets old after a while. And it's also just not you're I don't know, this isn't my home.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a pretty solitary guy. I still like that I have my space, and it was my I was my spot,
Yeah.
and I don't know. It's not the same being in like a, even if it's a nice
Have you had to
hotel
do
room.
laundry at a laundromat yet? You
No, because I did laundry
did
here.
laundry here, so yeah. Because that's the other part that I just hated about it. Is like taking laundry in and out when, we would try to, like, we stayed at my parents' house on weekends or my brother's house, so we tried to like stretch it throughout the week, but sometimes laundry.
So yeah, Ready Player One. What about you?
Well, I still have the Great Brain holding in my finished pile, so we can talk about it. I also finished the second one, More
Hey,
Adventures
moving
of the Great
around.
Brain. I kind of am ahead on it, so I'll slow down a bit because I'm getting ahead of our schedule. But I started the third one, Me and My Little Brain. It's really good, and I'm super excited to read them all. And then I also picked up this book, Illusion, which I started reading a while ago.
What's that?
It's a Frank Peretti book.
Okay.
And I started reading it a while ago. I think I read a couple chapters and then I like misplaced it, and it came out of the woodwork again. So I started reading it, and it's really good. It's about like magicians, and they're like a partner, and one of them like dies, but then she wakes up as like a teenager self, but like in the present. So it's like this whole, I don't know, time paradox thing, and kind of cool. We'll see how that goes.
All right.
And if you guys want to read books with us, right now we're reading through the Great Brain series. You should join our book club by going on the Brendo.com and clicking the book club link at the top of the page. Yes.
All right. You got some Blue Christmas updates?
Yes. A couple things. One, on the sad news side, we had one band that dropped out. Ann Lynn, unfortunately, not going to be able to play. They're the ones that do our opening credits. Something sports came in the way.
Well, it was like a kid.
His kid is in a sports playoff, blah, 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 something like that. So.
What are you going to do when Luke is in a sports playoff or Audrey is in a sports playoff?
And I'll tell them.
I'm doing my Blue Christmas.
Concert time, kid.
You need to move your playoff game.
Yeah. If you want to be in sports, you have to know that's a real possibility. I don't know. We'll see how the reality plays out, but that's how I imagine it. That. That's how I picture it in my imagination.
I see some couch time in your children's future. My dad, the hoarder.
We still have a great lineup, 5 bands, including A Plus B, featuring Josh Anderson, currently in our chat. And
chat participant Josh Anderson.
Featuring chat participant Josh Anderson. And it's going to be a really good night. And the other update, though, that I want to say is we've the last few years, we haven't always done this, but the last like 3 years, we have donated some of the proceeds of Blue Christmas to various charity stuff like that, or particular causes. And this year, we've decided there's a local woman in Yucaipa. Her name is Sarah Minto, and she's a mother of 4 or 5 kids. I'm getting the number wrong there, but anyway, she's been battling breast cancer for the last couple years and has had a lot of medical expenses come up. So we decided that we're gonna support her, help her with some of her medical expenses, and she's been trying to, in addition to her own struggle, she's actually been doing a lot as far as raising awareness for breast cancer. She was on the Ellen show, like talking about her journey and struggle and stuff. So it's not just helping someone, it's also helping her greater cause, which is cool. So we're going to do all of the net proceeds that would have gone to Popbox Music are going to be turned over to her and her stuff. So
there you go.
So it's a good cause as well as a sweet show.
It's not even Phil trying to make that sweet dollar.
That's right. I'm making nothing. Even if I was going to make something, it's going to her. So.
All right. We got no new movies.
No new movies.
Can't afford it.
Yeah, we're not in the place for that right now.
DVD Anime Corner, again, WWE Network.
Because you can watch that on the go.
You can watch it. I couldn't get it to work on my tablet because for some reason my tablet won't support the app. My laptop on the hotel internet was not happening either. But I watched it on my phone just over my 4G connection. Worked like a charm.
Good.
Watched all my programs. Watched some other stuff. Although the phone app does not have the resume feature that the PlayStation 3 and Xbox apps have. So if you stop and start, you got to remember where you were.
Right.
And so, but it's fine. and everything works. So props.
Cool.
I mean, it's still great to have that. Be able to keep my routine of like, okay, on Monday I'm watching this after Raw. I'm watching on Tuesday. I'm watching my I watch main event, and then after that is the Monday Night War. Thursday NXT. I can still watch all those shows
Right there on your phone.
on my phone. Yes, and then I also got Netflix on my tablet.
Nice.
And I've been going back through watching Bob's Burgers because that show is amazing.
It's so good. I also watched a lot of Bob's Burgers. I finished season 2.
So you got Taffy Butt?
Yeah, definitely saw Taffy Butt. Oh, Taffy Butt. But yeah, finished season 2 and partway into season 3. I don't know exactly how far, but it's really, really good.
I just watched the Bed and Breakfast episode again. Teddy and the furries. Yeah. That's like me.
Yeah.
That would be what happened.
Oh, I love his.
I love Louise. Is just like, it's like, I'll see you in hell, Teddy. Like, Louise is getting so like...
She's great. It's funny.
That's my favorite. Kristen Shaw should win an Emmy.
Yeah. So I've been watching a lot of that. Also, we've been watching Fringe, and I'm curious because when we originally watched Fringe, we made it almost through season 3, then we fell behind, and we kind of stopped watching because we couldn't keep up with it.
So now we were talking about this today. You have gotten to a possible jumping the shark point.
Yes, we finished the end of season 3 and started season 4, so we're past where we watched initially. And I've talked to some people, like our friend Jeff, who said this is the point when they stopped watching.
It was where our friend John also stopped watching.
I kind of get it, because basically, spoiler alert if you haven't watched it and blah, blah, blah. This is your chance. Peter, it gets erased from the timeline.
So then they go back and redo
Now they have to go back, and they're, resolving mysteries they already knew about.
And we compared it to, in Rampage, where you have to redo the levels.
You have to go back to California. You beat everything, you think you won, and then California have to be beaten again.
That's just poor writing.
Yeah, I've already seen this. Why they already know about that.
Josh says that doesn't last for very long.
Okay, that's good. That was the thing, is the one saving grace could be if they get out of this, because it's I think it's been 3 or 4 episodes, and we're like, I'm done. This is, I don't know, are we gonna finish this? But that's good to hear. Josh says it doesn't last long. I'll give it a try. But man, it's an irritating little thing. He says that show, it goes in very different directions.
The last season is almost a different show.
And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with change. It's just this feels like we ran out of ideas.
It started off as very X-Files Monster of the Week thing. Then they started their big overarching thing, and then that got crazy.
Yeah.
And they kind of went a little crazy with that. So then they dialed that back a little bit, and then they're just, I don't know, it's one of those things where you can tell there's got to be some interference going on, where they're telling people.
And honestly, my favorite stuff is still when they do the Monster of the Week ones. Partly because it does feel a lot like X-Files. But I'm down with the whole multiple universe thing, and I like all that stuff. Just this particular little bit was super irritating, but I can get past it as long as it's not what they're going to finish with, because, ugh. But anyway, it's still pretty good. Still
been playing a lot of video games.
Yeah, tell us about your homeless video games.
Keeping up with my Tomodachi life. Been playing Zelda Oracle Seasons. Actually, tomorrow, remind me, I beat the first dungeon, and now I don't know what to do next. I've been going all over the map, trying to figure it out. I ran out of candles, and I think I need to burn down something, and I don't know how to get more. And
we can help with that.
But it's a really awesome game. I really enjoy it.
It is.
And it's I got it from Nintendo coins, so it's awesome. Bonus. Been playing a lot of Quiz Up.
Yeah. What was your final ranking for October?
2. Still 2 in
second place in freaking games.
Because the first place person, again, it's one of those things where the first place person in a lot of the categories is just so, you can tell they're the kind of person that this is all they do.
Yeah. There's no way you could get that many points if you're not only doing that.
Yeah.
I wound up in, I don't know, somewhere 10th place, or in the top 10 of Lebowski. I can't find out what my exact rank was, but I got up as high as 6 at one point.
Nice.
So it's fun.
Been playing a ton of Animal Crossing. I actually passed my final Gracie Grace fashion check after a year and a half.
So you get to do, what do you get now?
It opens the final store.
And what is it?
Well, it's the biggest version of the store.
Oh,
so it's like
Store.
Tom Nook store.
Okay.
And then Gracie Grace has her own fashion emporium on the second story. The plant guy apparently sells mulch now, or soil, so you can grow plants easier.
Okay.
And he sells persimmons.
Oh, yes.
So that's how you get the last fruit.
That's persimmons, okay.
And so tomorrow that's going to open up in my hand, and I can, yay, I'm so excited.
Swapping there.
I have been still playing a ton of Smash Brothers. Beat some challenges, realized that some of the challenges are going to be nuts, but I'm still
They always are.
I beat, I actually made my first attempt at Master Core, which you have to be on like 5.0 level or above on the classic mode, which is already pretty hard.
Right.
And then Master Core is pretty nuts. So, but I think I might be able to figure it out depending on who I'm fighting with. I don't know, because I really want to beat him because there's a lot of challenges that run that through. And then I don't know, I'm up to 280 trophies.
Out of how many, do you know?
I found out that there's over 800.
So you're like not even like halfway. Okay.
So, and then, so it's a lot. Let's see. I've been playing a lot of Disney Magical World.
Ooh, you need more stickers?
I'm up to 87 stickers. But I feel like I'm at a point where, like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do some of these crazier ones because that's so much grinding.
It's not as bad. Like, what happens, though, is you'll hit a point where all of a sudden a bunch of them pop into place.
Yeah.
It's like a chain
reaction.
I did
finish the dungeon.
Okay, you got to the bottom.
Finish the dungeon. I got a secret combo, but I didn't. But it was with a Stitch. Getting the ones that actually give you the medals to get the wands, that's way trickier.
I'm still working on some of those.
I'm about to get Rainbow Honey. I'm grinding my way to getting Sunflower.
Finally got
I figured out a fast method to do that. There is a late Alice quest where you can get the jet black rose seeds, so you skip quite a few steps.
2 levels with that.
And I just grind that out, get a bunch of those seeds, and plant them.
And then you do the product. What do you call it? The seed of.
Well, so I heard you do that, and then you can also get a good luck charm.
Oh, does that
from
help?
the lady, and you're more likely to get rare items, and that includes rare seeds.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I'm
going to start
at the point
really
now where I
working
have
on
quite
that.
a few of them.
I still need a Western party, and I'm hung up on the Western Star, which is only done by favors.
Right.
So that's just random number generator.
It's not just favors, though. It's what does he say?
What's train?
It's not just from favors. You can also get them from the dungeon, from the chest.
So I guess I gotta grind the dungeon.
So if you can get a lot of stuff in there, that can help too. There's your tip.
Good tip.
Good tip.
Because I've only gotten like one Western Star ever.
I thought that was it too, but if you keep grinding the dungeon, you get a ton of stuff out of there. So.
All right. Let's see what else. We already talked about Hyrule Warriors demo. I freaking loved it. I got to fight the buffer. So I fought the giant Dodongo boss.
Yeah. Threw bombs in his mouth.
It was really fun, and threw bombs at him, and did like all these. That's just cool fighting like 100 guys at once, and just like doing all these crazy special moves, and, like all the cool weapons, and it was a lot of fun. And it's so Zelda.
That's
super
good.
Zelda-y. I loved it. And then at work. So I got my Linux box running at work. I'm using Linux Mint, which is like a build of Ubuntu. It's based off of
Okay.
And so I got Steam running on it. And these are things I do at work when I'm
why not?
Because I don't have a lot going on at work. And so it does have a separate video card. So it's a pretty old computer. It's a Pentium 3. So a lot of stuff does not work. I tried to get Team Fortress to work. I got really close. Like, I managed to figure out how to, like, download the OpenGL drivers, and I was messing around. So I'm learning a lot of Linux stuff while I'm doing this.
So it's at least productive.
Yeah. I don't know if I already talked about this, but I got Game Dev Tycoon working.
Yeah, I think you
Unlocked
mentioned
some
it.
achievements there. Now my coworker recommended this other. It's a free game, so I started playing that. It's called Altitude, and basically it's like a really basic. It's pretty simple game, but it's so addicting and fun. You control like a plane with your mouse, and then you shoot guys, and it's online. It's on like online. There's all kinds of different online modes. There's like a soccer mode. There's like straight up deathmatch. You can level up your plane. There's achievements, and it's totally free. It's not even like free to win or free. It's a game
Just
that
free
like has
for
been
you.
around long enough. They're just like, we're making this free.
That's cool.
It's free on Steam. It's a lot of fun, and it runs on like my super old Linux box like a charm. And then the other one I'm like looking at all my small games,
Right.
and the smallest game I have is the VVVV game. So I started playing that finally. That game's super
good.
fun, but it's so hard. But in a fun, rewarding way, not like in an impossible way.
Yeah, well,
But,
because
like-
at first sometimes you'll go, "There's no way to get past this room."
But then once you figure out the flipping mechanic and how the different things you can do, and once you like realize like you get a checkpoint and then you can like practice, because
Yeah.
there's times where you have to like time your falls and like avoid all the spikes and stuff, and so but it's a lot of fun, and it's actually like I'm already intrigued by the story, and
Yeah, it's simple, but it's really good.
yeah.
I was obsessed with it. I played the 3DS version. I downloaded it on 3DS, and it was super good. Just the whole thing. Really, all you can do is you flip the gravity, and go up or down, and that's it. Like that's the whole game. But it's way more complicated and fun than that sounds.
It's a really great puzzle platformer.
Yeah, really good game. VVV, it's like 5V.
And it's seriously like 50 megabytes,
So you can
and
play it on
it'll run
anything.
on anything. Because like we even got it running on one of our other Linux boxes. It has onboard video because I don't even think it uses the video. Like it looks like
it's like an
Atari game.
Yeah.
And it's but I highly recommend. What about you? What do you got going on here?
Well, also been playing Disney Magical World. Even though I got 100 stickers, there's still a few things I really wanted to get before I completely, give a rest. So I've gotten quite a few more things, unlocked a lot of new recipes and stuff. So doing that, we've been playing The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess, which you kind of got to observe a little.
Yeah,
of today.
I'm extremely impressed with your kids' problem-solving skills.
Right? They solve all the puzzles, and they keep track of where we are on the map, and they know where to go next, and it's really fun.
They can find things that you can't. They're like like your own game facts.
It is like I'll go along and I'll be totally stuck, and Arthur's like, "Why don't you just do this?" Or Luke's like, "Oh, you already went in that door. Go in this one over here." And you can see too, because I know Josh or somebody was giving me a hard time about how I just play video games and make my kids watch me play, but it's fun. It's like interactive. We talk through it, and they're not quite at the point where they could play it because it's a little more complicated controls for them, but they're totally able to engage with the story and stuff. Watching
Luke playing video games, and Audrey too, they are natural.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And Luke is gonna be like a platformer expert. I've seen him playing like he had your cell phone and he was playing this game where I'm like, man, I would be dead already.
Oh yeah, he's good. And both of them though. I mean, it's amazing. It's like it's in their genes or something. So maybe they'll have to be there at the next Extra Damage Extra Life thing. Other than that, Peggle, Quiz Up. That's pretty much it.
Josh, all caps, no kids.
No kids. What?
It's for the kids.
It's for the kids.
But no kids. For the kids.
What?
No kids allowed.
Nothing inappropriate happens,
yeah,
right?
Nothing inappropriate happens.
Well, I'll send them home before we play Mount Your Friends. How's that? All right. What else we got?
We got the
list, right?
Our video game.
The list.
So
we'll close it out with that tonight.
Close it out with the Racket Boy. We're on to the Game Boy, the most valuable Game Boy Color releases. We did Game Boy last week, so let's see what you got here.
I feel like this one might be my weakest point, but I don't know. We'll see.
But I don't know. You buy a lot of you went through a period where you bought a crazy.
Well, I was buying.
Games.
When they were getting rid of them at GameStop, I was picking them up for like $5 for $1 sometimes.
But sometimes it's cool just to hear about these games. Yeah. So we got number 1 here. It's not super rare, but it's valuable. We got Shantae.
Now, I know of the game because they've been doing like sequels on the Virtual Console, but
it was released at the tail end of the Game Boy Color's lifespan as the Game Boy Advance was well on its way to dominate market. Shantae looks so good that it could pass for an early GBA game. So yeah.
Don't have that, but know of it.
Magical Chase.
No.
Cotton-esque 2D shooter. Oh, it's a Japan only.
Oh yeah, I don't have any Japanese Game Boy Colors for sure.
Space Station Silicon Valley.
I think that was on an NES game too, wasn't it?
I have no idea.
I feel like it was. I feel like I've heard of that.
No idea, man. Let's see. This Game Boy rarity, pocket size, the cult classic N64 game.
Oh, okay. Well, I knew it was somewhere.
Oh, it's from DMA Designs, now known as Rockstar North, creator of the Grand Theft Auto series.
Ah.
So this is, yeah. That looks cool. Resident Evil Gaiden.
Nope. Side story.
Yep. Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX.
I do have that. That is a great game.
This upgraded version of the classic Game Boy release isn't especially uncommon, but is a popular release of a classic franchise. Sometimes it can be a challenge to find a loose cartridge for under $30.
Huh.
Sealed copies exceed $800.
Wow.
On eBay.
Well, I don't have it sealed, but I do have that.
So, sorry, I'm flipping back and forth here just to make sure that we're not missing.
Like, that's good. All right. What's next?
Pokemon Crystal.
Nope. Do not have that.
Metal Gear Solid.
No.
All right. Speaking of,
here we
Legend
go.
of Zelda: Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages.
I do have both of those.
These are the lone Zelda release that is an original exclusive release to the Game Boy Color. But because of the Zelda collector community, they keep the value strong.
And they're great games.
Yeah, and I'm playing one now. Harvest Moon 3.
No, I've never played a Harvest Moon game.
I actually got one from the PlayStation. It was 99 cents, and I started playing it. And I'm like, I could see where this could be, but I didn't quite get into it yet.
There's a lot of them, so it's kind of...
Yes.
That's a tough...
Yes. Ghost Babel Metal Gear. I have that Metal Gear. This is, is that what that is?
I think it's just Metal Gear Solid for Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's probably more than one, I'm sure.
The production run of the Game Boy Color version was quite small. It was one of the rarest.
Huh.
Okay, so we got Pokemon Gold and Pokemon Silver.
No, do not have any of those Pokemons.
And so that's that.
Not a whole lot.
Then we got Game Boy Color games with sealed premiums, which is all those same
ones that they're sealed.
Donkey Kong Country.
I don't have Game Boy Color
What
Donkey
about
Kong
Blaster
Country.
Master?
No.
Revelations: The Demon Slayer?
No,
Was that a Revelations? Like, is that a Wisdom Tree game?
It might be.
Earthworm Jim?
No.
Wario Land 3.
I do have Wario Land 3, which is the third Super Mario Land game.
We played on Extra Life, Metal Gear on Game Boy. Oh, that's right. You guys did play it on, Metal Gear on Game Boy Color.
Oh, okay. Sweet. Something that's fairly valuable.
All right. Additional Game Boy Color games of value. Lufia.
Nope.
Harvest Moon 1.
Nope.
Dragon Warrior 1 and 2.
I do have that.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a cool
Harvest Moon 2.
No.
Survival Kids.
No, that sounds fun, though.
They also here put Revelations, a Demon Slayer. Return of the Ninja.
Nope.
Mortal Kombat 4.
Nope.
Man, they were still...
They're pumping those things out, man.
Azure Dreams.
I believe that's Azure.
Azure?
Like color.
Azure? Right? Is that how you say it?
Azure.
I've been saying Azure.
Pretty sure it's Azure, but whatever. No, I don't have that, but there's not a whole lot of Game Boy Color ones. I guess it's kind of it was a short-lived platform.
Yeah.
But I had quite a few.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Well, next time I want to see if we've done this.
I guess we haven't done Super Nintendo.
Yeah, because we
started with
GameCube, then we went back. Yeah, we didn't do these.
All right, so next time
we didn't talk about these because there's a lot of them.
And I have a lot
treasured
of
standard releases and there's a lot, and I know you have a lot of these.
Yeah.
Do you have Noah's Ark?
I don't have Noah's Ark now.
I was gonna say so. Anyways, we'll talk about that next time.
Sounds good.
That's gonna be our little video game segment. That's been good.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm ready to watch some Bob's Burgers and then go to bed.
Fall asleep to Bob's Burgers. Yeah.
Well, before you fall asleep to Bob's Burgers, you need to blow up my air mattress.
That's true. The air mattress of...
I make Phil blow it up. I don't want to do
I know. I guess I have to be a good host or something like that.
Get my sheets.
Yeah. That sounds good. Thanks, everyone, for listening.
Yep. Don't forget to go to RadioBrendo.com for all your Radio BrendoMan needs. Benview Network for all your Benview Network needs. We got a new show on the Benview Network called Flagons and Dragons. They talk about D&D and craft brew.
That is a good combination.
It's a pretty cool new show.
Flagon with the Dragon has the brew that is true.
Yep.
I wonder if that's where they got it from.
Probably.
And
that's about it right now. At BrendoMan on Twitter. That's also Phil's Twitter P.O. Box.
That's right. Check that out.
BrendoMan@gmail.com if you prefer the email. Go to RadioBrendo.com. Click the contact button. If you're a Tumblr kid, we got a Tumblr. We got a Ask Us Anything button. We got a Facebook page. Wherever you hang out on the internet, we're probably there.
Probably so.
We even got a Google Plus page for all you weirdos. We've got a Google Plus community. Oh, did you really read my email tonight? I did not get your... When did you send it? Oh, Steve Espinoza. We read it on our last episode.
What was the general subject?
That was the story, the dream story.
Oh, yeah.
So the lost episode will drop tomorrow.
Yeah, we were able to salvage it. We had some technical issues, but it came out, and we did talk about that at length. So, yes.
We have a Popsicles dropping tonight. I'm going to finish the Popsicles.
Yeah.
And
now we've got our technological kinks.
I think we got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then after December 5th, we're going to be golden, hopefully, once I'm back.
I
might not be back immediately December 5th, but it'll be sometime before the new year. We should have this whole situation figured freaking out. I'm ready for it to be now. But I'm in the home stretch. I'm going to make it. Thanks to you guys, all your support, all your encouragement. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate Phil. I appreciate everybody. You've all been wonderful and supportive. And yes, I'm aware we need to pull a little bit harder on the string between the tin cans.
Well, if this is good tonight, you're able to be here in person, so
yeah,
that's good. Oh, it's moving again. I need to get out of this playroom.
You need to fill in the hole.
Yes. Ugh.
You got cats.
Also, speaking of all that other stuff, make sure that you join our book club by clicking on the book club link. And we're going to be guests on a show coming up this week.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that. Keith and
John,
our best friend show.
We'll put a link up on our Facebook page.
Should be, by the time this one goes out, I would imagine it's out there.
Yeah, they're probably pretty quick with that.
Yeah, because their shows are a lot shorter. They're like in the half an hour range. So.
Not when we're on.
Well, when we're on, yeah. They don't know what they got coming.
People have no idea. I remember, I stopped getting interview requests because I did a couple interviews, and I was like, okay, I'm like, how long is it going to be? He's like, probably 2 hours later.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
I'm like, you let me go, and I'm going to talk. So
that's just warming up for a conversation. That's nothing.
You gotta keep it. You gotta rein us in, because otherwise we're just gonna go.
That's right. Well, we'll post a thing on that so you can hear us guesting on someone's show.
Yep.
And check out braxcomics.com
for some new comics.
New Brax comics.
And I finally updated. Tapastic is updated, so if you're looking for an Android app, we already have the Brax iTunes app, but if you're
app.
looking for an Android app, the old one we had, it doesn't work anymore, and I couldn't figure it out because I think they stopped supporting it, and it was kind of janky to begin with. So now we use Tapastic, and they're awesome, and you can read every single one of our strips, plus a ton of other great webcomics. That works on the web, on Android, iPhone, tablet, everything. It's a great webcomic.
That's a cool way to do it.
And there's lots of good, and they're cool people.
Yes, and they came to our panel.
They did come to our panel. Super nice dudes and girls.
Yes.
And lots of cool artists. And it's a very easy way to keep track of some of your these are all like independent creators. They're not even like mostly well known. Like you're not gonna see like your questionable contents and your dinosaur comics on here. It's moving a lot, Phil. That branch is really moving right now. That's gotta be like a raccoon. That's something big. Can you see him going in and out?
No. I don't know. I don't see it. I think maybe it's just wind now.
Why is it just that one branch?
I don't know. It's terrifying. All right.
I don't like your
yard.
We
gotta get out of this room. We gotta get out of this room. All right, I'm back.
All right. Well, happy Halloween, everybody,
Yeah.
and
thanks for your support.
Thank you.
You guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out in the chat, fellas.
So I heard a cat.
Hurry.
They're coming.
They're coming for us.
They're coming for us.
This is our last broadcast. All right.
So for Radio BrendoMan, I'm Brendan Creasy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
Have a good one, everybody. All right. Stop recording. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I'll let you do
right.
your thing, because I don't know your save. I don't know your file naming
protocols.
system. All your bizarro Phil OCD, crazy town.
Keeps it all
habits.
in order that way.
Cats.
Cats in the orchard.
Rated R.
I think that the wind is contributing to
But
it.
why is it just that
I
one?
don't know. It is crazy.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you guys later.